So we want to welcome you here to today's Coffee with the Entrepreneur. It's a partnership between the City of Corona and the Chamber of Commerce. And we're very excited to have Lena here. She is an amazing individual, and you're going to hear all about her in just a bit. So as I stated, it is a partnership between the Corona Chamber and the City of Corona. But before we actually start the program, I want to have Janina and Paul Bender right up front here with Christy. Okay. So glad you ladies are here. Okay. I didn't mean to out you quite like that.
No. Sorry, I had to go.
We reserved the front row for you. Okay. So in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to go around the room and have you all introduce yourselves for about a 10 to 15 second introduction. So start thinking of how you can condense everything you can in there. But before we do, we're going to actually do a Pledge of Allegiance. And you know, this last week we lost 5 Marines, and yesterday we were at the Gold Star monument, the memorial, the dedication in Norco, and it's absolutely beautiful. But one thing resonated with me. The moms and dads that lost their kids in the military said, please come up to us and talk to us about our kids. We want to talk about them. We don't want to really talk about how they died, but we want to talk about how they lived. And they said the most important thing is to remember their names. So I'm going to read the 5 names of the Marines that just died this last week in California from a plane crash. The Marines killed were Corporal Nathan E. Carlson, 21, from Illinois. Captain Nicholas Losapio, 31, from New Hampshire. Corporal Seth Rasmussen, 21, of Wyoming. Captain John J. Sachs of Placer, California. And Lance Corporal Evan A. Strickland, 19, of Valencia, New Mexico. These young men are protecting our freedoms, and their families now have lost their loved ones. So when we stand in just a minute here to say those 31 beautiful words that put together our Pledge of Allegiance, let's remember those individuals and everyone else that is currently serving, or those that have served, and those that actually paid the ultimate sacrifice. So if I could have you stand, and we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so very much. So as I shared with you just a minute ago, we're going to have you go around the room. Part of our quest and what we do is we build business relationships. By being part of the chamber, we want you to be able to meet people that you can do business with, whether you're going to be their customer or they're going to be your customer, or maybe they're just going to be a mentor or a friend that you can call and glean some information from. So we've got a variety of people that are here, different backgrounds. Some of them are here because the speaker has a huge group that's here today, and I'm so excited to have. I don't know if anyone's even at work today, are they? Are they all here? I love that. I love that. So please stand and then face the group. I'm going to pass the microphone. Share your name, your title, and the company that you are representing. Please don't do anything more or less. Don't do anything more especially. It's not like a 2-hour talk for you. If you want to be an entrepreneur that's invited to speak, we can talk to you about that in the future. But I'm going to start it off so that you kind of get the idea of what we're looking for. So I'm Bobby Spiegel. I'm the president and CEO for the Corona Chamber of Commerce.
Well,
If you'll stand and face everyone.
I'm the new kid, actually. My name is Rachel Marciano. I own Signorama Corona on the corner of Lincoln and Railroad. It's not even open yet. It's going to open July 4th. And what we do is we create signs from design to installation all the way for your businesses. Thank you.
Gabriel.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Vega. I work in marketing at Corona Hardwood. I do all of our digital and just strategy planning.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Simone. I'm a receptionist at Corona Hardwood. I answer the phones.
The friendly voice.
Hi, I'm Regan Villanova. I own Regan Films. I do photo and video, and I just recently got it registered with the city of Corona, so I'm a new business here.
Welcome, good to have you here.
I'm Hugo Lemeva. I'm an electrical consulting engineer. My company is Just Bake Engineering Group. We do residential, commercial, and industrial. Or TI. Okay, correct. Thank you.
Excellent, if you'll take it all the way back to Lena's husband.
Hi, I'm Lena's husband.
Most important job.
Yeah, right. I'm Cameron Thomas. I'm the president, CEO, owner, CFO, CTO, COO of Thomas Family Pool Service, and we clean pools.
Good morning, my name is Santiago. I'm with Opar Business Services.
Straight in front.
Good morning. My name is Marina. I am a mortgage advisor, and if you think that the market is going to crash, come on over and let me know. We'll talk about it.
Now, this lady, this is the most important woman here. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. My name is Luba Mamantov. I am bookkeeper in Corona Hardwood.
And
mom.
And mom.
the most important guy here.
Thank you. I'm Vladimir Mamantov, and Lena is my older daughter.
What do you do at the hardware store?
I'm retired.
He's the head honcho.
He's the visionary. He was the one that created it.
Yes.
Rufus, if you'll take the mic.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
All right, Rufus Rosser, treasurer of Circle City Corral, Corona's premier choral group.
Good morning, I'm Buzz Brown, retired, but currently serving as a volunteer pastor at Bedford Community Church.
Good morning. I'm Christy with DFI, DiGirolamo Family Insurance, an independent property and casualty insurance agency celebrating 40 years in business. Good morning, Janina Ramirez, Community Director of Tailored Space. Good morning, Express and Popping to Pedesha, Express Employment Professionals and Chamber Board.
That way.
Morning, I'm Dennis Cool. Yes, I'm Jeff Cool's brother. It's not my fault he was here first. And I do sales with Corona Hardwood.
Good morning, my name is Ben Mamantov. I am Vice President and CEO of Corona Hardwood and also Lena's youngest brother.
I am Guido Totaro from Pampa Empanadas.
My name is Candace Gilliott. I am President of Vertical Internet Marketing.
Hi, good morning. Amanda Wicker with the City of Corona's Office of Economic Development.
Good morning. My name is Desiree Ramirez. I'm Vice President of the Corona Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning. My name is Karina Perez, and I work for Corona Hardwood as a purchasing agent.
Good morning. I'm Clarice Robles. I work as a sales associate at Corona Hardwood as well with Lena.
Carly, Marketing Manager for John's Movers. We do moving, storage, junk removal, and cleaning. Oh yeah, and a Corona Ambassador.
Thank you all. Anthony Maldonado, Programs Coordinator here at the Corona Chamber.
And we will properly introduce Lena in just a minute. So, with that, I just want to congratulate you all. Please think of someone that you want to visit with later on. Again, one of our goals is for you to connect with people, and it'd be a great thing afterwards. We do want you to become social today, so if you could pull out your smartphones and take some photos of what's going on today, and as Lena is sharing later, and hashtag Corona Chamber and hashtag Corona Rocks. That would be great. And there's a stand right here, and there's stuff in back. These are our upcoming events and the different things that are going on. Please feel free to grab a Corona Business News as you leave. That's the May-June issue. Our July issue is going to print today, and so that's the July-August issue. But in the future, if you're interested in maybe purchasing an ad to be in that publication, it comes out every 2 months. Please see Robert Yanez or Desiree Ramirez, and they'll be able to connect you up with some advertising opportunities. Before I get into the slide for good morning, well, we'll do the Good Morning Corona one. On June 17th, that's this Friday, we have our Executive Leadership Roundtable program. They're going to actually graduate, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, as far as the ELR program, it is made up of executives, people that own businesses or top level management that get together and have some synergy. They put together a tremendous community program that will benefit families that are suffering, that have lost loved ones to fentanyl, or to bring awareness of what is going on, and it's a beautiful thing. We will be graduating all of them on June 17th. You're invited to attend. The bit.ly on that is GMC June 2022. The next thing is the ELR applications, and so those are the Executive Leadership Roundtable. We're starting to coordinate and get the list together for this next year's program. It will start in September, but the applications are due July 22nd. Before we get to the economic forecast, I did want to mention that on June 30th, we are saying our farewell, even though Stephanie doesn't like the word farewell, but I gave everyone one of these flyers. You're all invited to a celebration. Stephanie's been with us just over 10 years and has done a lot in this community. She is leaving our community and moving to Tennessee, and we want to do a beautiful farewell and send her off and say, hey, we thank you so much for everything you've done. She will still be here through July 15th. However, we did want to make sure that we could do something before she leaves. So if you would like to attend, it is free to attend. We just ask that you RSVP, preferably by June 27th. Again, that'll be June 30th from 5 to 7, and it's over at Skyland Aleworks. And on July 15th, we have our economic forecast. Dr. Chris Thornburg does an amazing job, and he will be back in Corona. And we are sharing the stage with him with 3 other chambers of commerce. Chino Hills, which is part of San Bernardino County, and then we also have 2 out of the Orange County area. So he's going to reflect on what's going on in inland Southern California from Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside County, and it's going to be pretty exciting. If you want to attend, we have sponsorships available as well as individual seats, and you can see the bit.ly there at the bottom. Econ Forecast, July 15th. And then some very exciting news that we just actually finalized, and it will be on July 23rd. It's a Saturday. We're doing a job fair, and we know that there's many businesses out there that are seeking people to come to work, and we are going to allow businesses to have a spot to actually hand out information on them for people to come in and apply. We have some businesses that are talking about possibly even interviewing right there on the spot and hiring on the spot. If you are all interested to find out any additional information on that, you can see either Desiree or Anthony. And the job fair, again, will be on July 23rd, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That will be for all the job seekers to come and be able to see things. The people that actually have a space there, we're asking you to get there a little bit earlier, and we'll give you all those details as far as that's concerned. But for the job seekers, Paul Bender and her company has been gracious to donate a 65-inch flat screen TV. Someone that is seeking a job will win that TV that day. And please, if you know anyone that's looking for jobs, our goal is to get people that are driving on that freeway, on the 91 freeway, either going into Orange County or LA or anywhere else, to come here and work locally. So if you have a business and you want to, and you've got some job openings, we want to have you go ahead and get a booth, and we can help you with that. The price for that is $250, although for chamber members it's reduced down to $100. So we do want to make sure that you check that out, okay? And that bit.ly is all caps on this. It's Job Openings 2022. And I believe our last announcement for the day will be, before I bring up our partner from the City of Corona, is our Women's Leadership Conference. It'll be August 25th. And there will be a special release of tickets being sent out so that you can get a discounted price. So you need to text WLC to 71441, and as soon as we roll out that flash sale, you'll get that immediately so that you can get the best pricing. It's a 50% discount, and it will only be up for 1 week. So we want you to take advantage of that. You can share that with as many people as possible. The bit.ly on that is RCWLC, which stands for Riverside County Women's Leadership Conference 2022. I talked a little bit about our first of all, any questions on anything that I rattled off? Okay. So I talked about our partnership with the City of Corona, and I'm very excited to have Amanda Wicker here. She is with the Economic Development Department for the City of Corona. She's an administrator there. What I love about her and the entire team down there for Economic Development is they truly want to help businesses. So if your business is looking at growing, if your business is looking at locating, like Ray just is starting his venture here in Corona, whatever it may be, Amanda and the team down there are just really in sync with trying to help. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and have her come up, and she's going to share a little bit. I want you to feel like this is like the Academy Awards and your best friend just got the biggest award. So please welcome Amanda.
Thank you, Bobby. You always know how to embarrass me right before introducing me, so thank you. He's very good at that. Anyways, I'll keep my comments really short and sweet because I love this event. It's a really cool opportunity to get to hear somebody's story. So I'm really excited to hear your story today. And anyways, just all to say, as Bobby mentioned, I'm with the city's Office of Economic Development, and we have the same mission as the Chamber. We're here to support business. So if you have any questions, if you're looking for growth opportunities, whether that might be professionally with your business, looking to try to really refine those entrepreneurial skills that you need to grow or launch a business, we're here to support you. So I'll be here throughout the duration of the event and stick around a little bit afterwards. I have my cards and would love to answer any questions you may have. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. You can give her a round of applause, please. So now here's the fun part that I love doing. Each month we have a different invited entrepreneur, and I had the pleasure of meeting Lena several years ago through an organization called Stars Networking, and she is just the real deal. And there's a lot that I want to bring up and talk about, but she's probably going to share that, because what today's talk is about is her journey as an entrepreneur and all the different things that she did. I'm so proud of the family, and I'm so glad so many are here, and Mom and Dad are here. They immigrated from Russia to the United States to make United States their home. My parents also immigrated over from Germany, and it just touches my heart when I see a family that truly lives and loves the American dream. And Mom and Pops, thank you. Thank you so much for what you've done and your beautiful family that's here. This company, Corona Hardwood, is a family-owned and operated flooring showroom. They service clients nationwide. Lena has spent years working hard to build her business and become prominent in the community. We're thrilled that she's going to share her story, and she will answer questions, and she's got a whole history of things that she wants to review. I know you did a great job when we acknowledged and brought up Amanda, but now is when I really want you to shine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our invited entrepreneur, Lena Thomas. That's pretty weak. Let's go, Lena Thomas.
Thank you so much. You might see me up front quite often, but usually there's a violin in my hands or I'm singing, so talking is a little bit more outside of my comfort zone than those things that I do in music. But first of all, I'll address my name. If you're looking for me on social media, you won't find me under Lena. It's Yelena, Y-E-L-E-N-A, and that's my Russian name. That's how it came, but shortened, I go by Lena, and that's what I use for business. So, welcome to my TED Talk. I represent our family and our company today. I love speaking about our story because everyone has a story and ours makes us unique. Stories inspire us. They help us overcome difficulties. I love retelling our story because it inspires me. It fills me with gratitude for all the ways we have been blessed. When I look back at our beginnings and the things that we have overcome, I'm inspired and encouraged that we will get through the next challenges as well. Now, what got us here will not necessarily get us to where we need to be, but the grit, the experience we share, the perseverance, the work that we've put in will help us to get creative in any economic situation, in any industry change, and in any family change. I'd like to start by sharing our family story with you. My parents, who were in their mid-30s, moved 5 kids under 11 to this unknown land that they only read about in the forbidden Western literature. They grew up in the heights of the Cold War in the Soviet Union. My dad was an electrician and my mom was a bookkeeper and eventually a stay-at-home mom because kids kept coming. I'm the oldest of 5. In Russia, big families are rewarded with extra ration coupons, special stores that they get to shop at. So having 5 kids helped us with obtaining food. I remember standing in line for food with my mom, but we have never been hungry and we have never seen famine in my days. Praise God. My dad have always had a feeling that there will be an opportunity to immigrate. And whenever that window opens, he needed to jump on it and take the opportunity. Because in America, you see, you can be anything you want to be. It's the land of opportunity. And that was a scary step for my mom. They left everything behind in Kazakhstan. Their families, our apartment, the car that we just recently acquired, which was a luxury in those days, all of the earthly possessions. We were able to receive a refugee status here as there was significant proof that our family has been persecuted for their Christian faith. On my mom's side, my grandpa was imprisoned under Stalin for 6 years, and that was for his faith. He was caught in a home church meeting, so that was his crime. My grandma lost her job in the apartment with 2 little kids because of the political nature of my grandpa's sentence. On my dad's side, his grandpa was picked up in one of those black cars in the middle of the night, and they never saw him again. And that was the late 30s. So neither one of my parents were allowed to receive a higher education. You pick your God or you pick the education, and so the communist system controls that. Because they didn't subscribe to the atheist communist ideology, they could not proceed with a higher education. Under that regime, the government owns you. It owns your children, your stuff, your present, your future. You're not in control of your destiny as an individual, unless you want to rise in the ranks, that is. As with any socialist regime, we're all equal, but some of us are just a little bit more equal, right? So someone gets to rule, someone gets to lord over people, someone gets the benefit of their hard work. So we moved here in November of 1990. I was 11, my brother was 5, and there's 3 between us. And we showed up to LAX with 5 suitcases, $1,000, and 5 kids. So how does one build a life in a new country with no language, no family around, no safety net? This is where the global Christian community came into play. We were helped by the congregants of a Slavic church in East LA. That's where we got plugged in and learned how to do life here in the United States. No one knew English in our family. I picked it up quickly. Within a year, I was pretty fluent. Little by little, my parents learned some English, and I would translate for them for a while wherever they needed. We did get some government assistance as we had a legally protected status, but any kind of food stamps and assistance was really embarrassing to my father, so he would send my mom to do grocery shopping. As soon as my dad could, he got a job. At times, there were 2 to 3 jobs to make ends meet. He tried a few things, and eventually he ended up working on military bases in his profession as an electrician. As with many things throughout the year, a door cracks open and we hesitantly walk through it. Such was the case with home ownership. After a couple of different apartments, my parents started to look for a home to rent to give our family some much needed space. Well, everywhere we would apply, they would say, too many kids, too many people for the 3-bedroom house. That seemed ridiculous to us because we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 7 people. So more and more people would started to say to us, you should buy something. And we were like, yeah, that's ridiculous. There's no money in the bank. How do we buy something? So we were able to get into the first-time home buyer program and found a townhome in Mission Viejo in the budget. The Lord provides, right? So that was our introduction into homeownership. Eventually, that home equity led us to buy a home here in Corona, and this is where my parents have been. So this is all in the first 10, 15 years of our life here in the United States. So now I'll transition to the Corona Hardwood. So how did we get into business ownership? We did not set out to become market disruptors in this industry, but that's exactly what we've become over time with our constant push to forward the industry to current times. My dad was traveling a lot for his work and was spending a week at a time away from the family. He was just getting tired and also thinking about his 3 sons growing up. He was 52 and decided that he needed to do something. So in the early part of 2000s, my parents also decided to upgrade their home. And not knowing where to get flooring, someone told them, you should just drive down to LA, there's a warehouse, you can find flooring there. So they did. They picked a floor, installed it themselves in their home, and they were just surprised at seeing the hustle and bustle that was going on at that warehouse. And they said, we need something like that in Corona. Why doesn't Corona have anything like that? Of course, there were probably flooring stores in Corona. It just pre-internet, so you don't know what you don't know. So my parents mortgaged their home and registered Corona Hardwood as a business at the end of 2005. My brother Alex did some research, opened up a couple of accounts, and they leased a small unit off of Temesco Canyon and waited. How does one get people through the door? My dad would wander the aisles of Home Depot or Lowe's sometimes, and when he would see a contractor or people interested in flooring, he would quickly slip his business cards to them, so to try to get business. My other brothers joined him in this venture, but with no one having any experience in flooring or business, nor sales, nor any corporate world, it was a tough go at first. Whenever the customer would walk in, they would just scatter. So my poor dad was forced to use his broken English to try to help customers with their flooring needs. That's also about the time that the 2008 economic crisis hit and people were leaving their homes right and left. Times were tough. I worked at Fannie Mae at that time, and I would get these depressing calls from my mom. Oh, business is tough. We've only had a couple of sales this month. We're getting to the end of our funds, not sure what we will do. Maybe we'll have to close and move everything to the garage. Oh, that was so hard to watch from the sidelines. They sure went through the school of hard knocks and experienced and learned everything on their own skin, as the saying goes. One of our business reps still to this day likes to tell the story when my dad came to him and said, please don't close my account. And he liked him so much, he was like, I wouldn't close your account. You know, you're just good people. So about that time, a family member went and bought his flooring online, cheaper than what my dad could get for him. And as painful as that was, it opened his eyes to this thing called the internet. Around the same time, a freight company rep came into the shop and said, do you guys ship? And he's like, no, but good contact to have, maybe we can. And then we got a call from a customer in Florida who needed flooring. Do you ship to Florida? We will figure it out. So this different pieces came in to just drop in our lap. So that was something new. Then as the funds were coming to the very end, my brother-in-law said, I can build a website so people can find us. Wow, okay, let's do that. So our company has been investing in technology ever since then. So while 2008 was a devastating crash for a lot of people and a lot of stores went out of business, our business actually grew because they figured out how to pick up the markets outside of Corona and service those clients. One significant event for our family is that when we were running out of money, there was a government tax bill that was due, and you know you can't mess with IRS or EDD. So my dad said, look, we're people of faith, and God is able to help. So my parents got on their knees and cried out to the Lord, Lord, if you provide, we will pay these bills, and if you do not, We will just take it as a sign and close and move everything into our garage. Well, a customer came in to purchase a flooring and said he didn't need it for a month, but he left a deposit check for his order and said he'll be back with the rest in a while. My dad brought the check home and asked my mom if she'd seen it. She said, yes, we got an order. That's great. No, did you see the check? On the check in tiny print was a verse from Matthew 19:26. With God, all things are possible. That was such an answer and comfort to them. A few days later, when the customer came back to pay the balance, my dad asked him about the check, wanting to know how meaningful that verse was to them. And the customer said, oh, my wife just liked the pictures on the check. We didn't even know that there was something written on it. But God used something like a check to bring comfort and provision, and this customer didn't even know. And that amount was exactly what they needed to pay that tax bill, by the way. And to this day, this verse comes up here and there, and it is always such a special reminder of how God has led us and brought us this far. So in 2009, my husband and I had our twins, and that made us outnumbered with 3 kids under 3 years. I could not continue my corporate job at Fannie Mae, and at the same time, his coffee shop was struggling, so we had to close that. My parents offered for us to move to Corona and live with them. So we moved into our family home and lived with them for 2 years. And to earn our keep, I came to work at Corona Hardwood. Now, while I had the corporate background, I had 0 sales experience. And in the first month, my dad thought, I don't know if anything will ever amount with this one. I was definitely afraid of picking up a phone call. So I would nurse the babies in the morning and leave them with my mom. I'd come back at lunch and nurse them again. I'll eat and go back to work and then nurse them again when I return, and that was life for 2 years. My parents helped raise our babies, and I invested myself in working their business. And when I started with them, it was just a family working. My sister had just helped them with a corporate background, so she came in the summer and worked. It was truly a mom and pop shop. They used notebooks and wrote hand receipts. There were times when they would take every order, a molding, a box, whatever it is that they needed, they'd run out and get it for a customer. So at some point, it just got to be not worth it, and my brother would say, no, we don't have it. So when Tanya came on board to help in the summer, she said, why? What's it worth? How much money do we need to make to help the customer? When she sold a box of flooring to New York and made a few $100s, then it was like, oh, okay, I see. We became about service. Whether the customer needs 1,000 square feet or 1 box, we do not turn them away. We just make it worth our while as a business. That is the volume-driven model we use to this day. The larger the volume, the bigger the discount we're able to give. Honestly, there was a season in our business where I felt so responsible, like it was all on my shoulders. If I didn't come in, there was no sales made. We started to hire outside of our family, but it was still hard to release the control of everything. Can you tell I'm a little bit of a control freak? I think every business goes through this pivotal point where you have to release the control and let people do the job you hired and trained them for. But it's such a scary step. So we would take a family vacation and I would get calls whether we were on the slopes snowboarding or somewhere else because nobody else could fix an issue for a customer, so I'd have to fix it for Mammoth. Through hiring hits and misses, we learned that, and I would say we're still learning, how to spot the potential that some people have, the personality that we need. Back in those days, I used to be the main salesperson until someone we hired outsold me. The bar was raised and we knew what was possible. You don't know what you don't know. The bar was set higher, and to this day, we're upping the limits and seeing what is possible. There's always a new sales record to beat. In 2011, my dad had a heart attack, and that was a catalyst for us siblings to take over the business in a more serious way. One time, we had some business consultants come in, and they spent a day looking at things, interviewing each one of us about our goals, our positions, our happiness level, our stress level. I don't remember all they looked at, the succession plans, sibling relationships, the way we did business, all the corporate things that my family had not set up. It was actually frustrating. It felt invasive, and we were just not ready to hear the truth at that time. We were proud of the business we have built from ground up, and to have these guys come in and rip it apart just felt devastating. But I think one of the good things that came out of that is that I felt more appreciated by my siblings for stepping up and taking the lead role. My siblings also stepped up and started growing in their roles. Those were the days of growing pains for sure. But when I look back, every pain point has grown into a policy, a solution, created new ways of doing business or handling something. Sometimes we look back and see that we implemented some of those strategies and suggestions that the consultants said, but it was done on our own timeline at a slower pace. But it opened our eyes to the ways that we need to change. Remember, it's hard to give up the control, right? But my brother Ben has really grown into someone who's a leader and a vision caster. He understands marketing and the creative side of all of the things, the YouTube videos that we've put out. He has the ability to forecast and set a vision for us as a company. He's become in charge of our sales staff and currently leads our weekly sales trainings on Fridays. If you want to know the big picture, I always defer to him. I am more of like the face of the company. I represent the day-to-day stuff at the chamber, in the networking meetings, and I love any opportunities I get to tell our story. Our brother Alex is in charge of the warehouse and logistics, and then our brother Sergey is in charge of the deliveries, pickups, and warehouse work. And we have one sister and her husband who moved away from us recently out of state, and they help us with our website. My dad's still around the warehouse. He's the chief patriarch who gets there before anybody, and a lot of the times he locks up behind us. But his main role is to drive my kids to their music lessons and while I'm at work. I love that he gets to build relationships with his grandkids and live a semi-retired lifestyle, as he should. My mom does our bookkeeping and a very important role of cooking for the family. Everyone has their own roles. We work well together. Of course, as in any family and partnership, we have to work on communication and loving each other through hard times. My dad has always said to us, and it'll stick to us to the very end, we were a family long before this business, and we will be a family long after this business. So that has been our focus for the last good while, is to grow our business in such a way that we service our customers well and honor each other and the gifting that each of us brings to the table. As with any business, we've had many challenges along the way. Staffing, inside organization, fraud, moving this dinosaur of an industry into the internet age, economy ups and downs, competitors. So I'll touch on some of these briefly and then offer the solutions that we've implemented in those areas. So, staffing. It's been a challenge to learn how to hire, whom to take a chance on, and what kind of person works and what kind of person doesn't work for our organization. What we need to remember is that we are not for everybody, and everybody's not for us. We've had some great people, some for a short season, others for many years. So currently we hire for personality and teachability, so we look for quality people with hobbies and interests outside of work. That tells us that they're willing to learn and invest in themselves. The details of flooring, the day-to-day stuff, we can teach that, but personality, integrity, just being a good, decent human being is something that they need to come in with. What feels nice and rewarding is to have the relationships continue after they leave us and come back and tell us how much they appreciate what they've learned to work after working with us. One story in particular is of a woman that we took a chance on. She came through Express Professionals, through Palbender, and she came in all tattooed, and we're not, fairly conservative. She had a restaurant service experience and no sales experience, but the customer service piece was enough for us to give her a try. So what we found out in the course of working together is that she's had a rough life. She and her husband were rebuilding. They were renting a room, sharing a car, and often she had to take a bus to get to work. Through the years of working with her, she constantly worked on personal growth, learning new things. She was hungry to have a different lifestyle than what she had been used to. We watched her husband buy a truck and get a job. She has grown to make record sales numbers. They moved into an apartment and then a house. Her children came back to her. She started to carry herself differently. Eventually, she went to work for one of the brands that we still represent to this day, where she works today. My heart still swells with pride for her when I see her current lifestyle. Watching that kind of change in a person, a change in her family legacy, makes me proud to be a part of that growth that she's went through. We're still working on staffing our team, but about 6 years ago, a new sales associate suggested that we get a receptionist. And at that time, we had our phones routed to each salesperson, and we were like, we don't need a receptionist. What will she do? Make coffee? Well, she really has built 2 full-time positions in her time with us so far. We found a front person to be critical. She's the hub of knowledge of all the movement in the showroom and ended up being my right-hand gal. That would be Karina in the back there. As we were growing, we have promoted her to a purchaser. What if the salesperson just makes the sale and then passes on all the busy work, right? So, she's created another niche for herself, and now we have 2 friendly, busy people up front. Another hard step, but a rewarding hire was an in-house marketer. And that would be Gabe. Again, we took a scary chance, and this person has grown our business into new markets. Social media marketing, YouTube videos productions, customer interactions on social media. For sure, he created a valuable position for himself and our company. Every step of growth is scary, but that is a part of growing a company. So we've had some instances of fraud, 4 that I can think of, where we were defrauded. So we do not take personal checks, and we haven't in many, many years on pickup or delivery. So that prevents a lot of the general fraud where customer writes a check and then it's no good and you find out 2 weeks later. We do, however, take credit cards over the phone, and that has opened us up to potentially a lot of fraud. So we've implemented a lot of different security measures to protect ourselves over the last few years. We keep learning and the bad guys keep changing. So we gotta keep adapting to those ways. Since we have not seen a lot of our clients in person, they order over the phone or over email, we've got to be really careful that they are who they say they are, as there's so much identity fraud. So unless we verified their identity, we do not move forward with the transaction anymore. Very recently, we even implemented a third-party ID verifier. At times, I have to make an extra phone call to their credit card company just to make sure that the information that they're giving me is what the credit card company has. Sometimes it's $20,000, $30,000 worth of flooring, and we want to be secure with that. Hopefully this wards off most of the scammers, but I think the 2 biggest lessons we learned going through those losses is slow down and follow our procedures, and pay attention to your intuition. In every case of fraud, we found that if we had slowed down and took the steps that we have in place, and paid attention to the red flags and that nagging feeling that you get, we would have avoided being scammed. So, market disruptors, that's the name some people in the industry call us. Some use this phrase in admiration and others in a negative way. But whatever it is safe to say that we have made our presence known and have created some disruptions to the status quo. So this industry is made up of a lot of old school, brick and mortar, traditional distribution chain. It's a very small industry, and once you're in, most likely you're in for life. And it's common to have find people that say, I've been in the industry for 20 to 40 years. We originally rolled out our website in 2008 and have been improving on it ever since. That has been our biggest and best marketing tool. No magazine advertising or banners at our local high school has done anything close to what the internet presence has done for us. Now, we do some of those things just to be present in the community and support the local boosters, but it's really for their benefit, not so much for Corona Hardwood benefit. Our website reflects our physical showroom, and so we strive to have all the samples there that somebody can look at online and also walk in and see. Some of the brands did not like that we had an online presence, so we lost a couple of relationships, but for the most part, the feedback is positive and one of admiration. It's been a fight, still is sometimes, to be able to do business as we see fit in a creative way, industry-forward way. These implementations have allowed us to service a larger group of people. Did you know that the largest group of people with buying power today are millennials? Implementing technology for these digital natives has proven to be a win-win for us and the consumer. We're also here for those who would like to walk in and look people in the eye and touch and see and shake hands. In all these changes, we have been monitoring our own consumer habits. For example, if I need a pair of shoes, where's the first place that I look? Gone are the days when I make my way to a shoe store and find a pair of shoes, right? I go online, I browse, I make sure they have my size, and depending on how quickly they can ship it to me, I will either have them shipped or walk into a store, but only after I verify that Nordstrom indeed has my size, because I'm not gonna waste time, right? And in today's consumer world, it gets even better. People go on social media first. They see what their friends are buying. They're looking at the pop-up ads. They're looking at groups on social media. So that is the consumer mindset right now, is they're not just gonna walk into a store to shop. So noticing these patterns of shopping, we made adjustments and changes to push our business forward. We are told that designers, competitors, distributors, clients all use our website as a trusted source. And we really aim for that to be so. Accurate details and pictures, and of course the SEO work to be on the first page of Google. All of this work is what we put in, and it's a huge part of growth in our business. Along with that, we started to create content for YouTube. Not only are their products overviews on YouTube page, but also testing we have done. They say the product is scratch-proof and waterproof. Well, let's put it to the test. Customer says thicker is better. We put it to the test. Our goal is to be the trusted source of information, service and cover the flooring needs from start to finish. It has to be an experience that you trust from the very first impression to the very last interaction with the customer. I pulled up our April numbers for YouTube channel, and there were over 37,000 total views, which represents 97.6 thousand minutes. 97.6 thousand minutes watched in the month of April. Can you believe people are watching videos about flooring? It's like, my goodness. The cool thing is that our website and our content on the social media platform work for us even while we're not working. The content goes worldwide at all hours of the day. Now tell me another vehicle that can market your business that way. So the economy for sure affects our business. Luckily, it is not only the economy here local in Corona or even Southern California. The lending rates going up, the material shortages, problems at the port, even the war in Ukraine, all the stuff that we went through in 2020 and 2021, all of that affects our business. Part of navigating this economy has been us becoming more efficient with our resources. We have gone paperless in a lot of ways, added digital upgrades. In 2019, we added a new customer relations management app. Some of those changes were hard for me because I'm a little bit old school and I get used to doing things a certain way, and then you gotta relearn. I used to keep a thick pricing binder on my desk and thought that it was easier for me to find something there than in the online version. We used to keep physical boxes of customer paperwork, I mean years worth. If I ever needed to find something pertaining to a transaction in 2014, let's say, we'd have to pull a physical box, find that month, find the order, so that I can have the details pertaining to that. Now everything is organized on a cloud in such a way that I can pull up everything I need, even from my smartphone. Then we added that customer management platform that I mentioned. So from the initial contact of a lead all the way to the very end, every interaction with the customer is documented. Other people are able to view my interactions and add their notes if they've spoken to the customer. It eliminated a lot of duplicate work that we used to do. And he said, she said, because we can refer back to specific date and a conversation with notes. It also allows quick access to where the customer is at the sales process. Have we made a sale? Have we taken their money? Is this transaction in delivery stage? It's all there at a glance. All these changes actually set us up for the pandemic shutdowns. Of course, we saw that in the hindsight, but we sure were grateful. We found ourselves in a position to be able to continue working, servicing clients remotely with minimal contact. I feel like God gave us wisdom and foresight to implement a lot of these changes before 2020. And it was just amazing to see how every step was set up for us to weather that storm. Competition is great. That is the American way. We do not try to compete with the big box stores like Home Depot or Flooring Decor, etc. And we really work to set ourselves apart from the other flooring stores. It's a completely different model of service and product. If it's just about the price, sure, one can get a product cheaper. But over and over, we hear issues with going that route, and that helps us set ourselves apart with quality products and exceptional service. When the service is not there with the competitor and the customer calls us to help them fix their issues, unfortunately, we're not able to help with someone else's transaction gone wrong. However, if they need more material for a new project, of course, we're happy to help. With all the flooring-related issues, a consumer must go back to where they purchased their flooring. That also applies to the contractors. If a consumer chose to get their flooring from a contractor, they have no way of knowing where that product was purchased, and therefore there's really no warranty on that product. That is why the contractor gets a discount. There's a very slim chance that they'll come back for a warranty claim. Usually a contractor gets a job done and they're gone. And good luck trying to track them down 2 to 3 years later, right? While we do work with a short list of contractors, we encourage the consumer to source their own product. We make it easy with our showroom experience, our delivery service, and the trusted materials, products, and service that we supply. Stuff happens, but if no one's there to stand behind the warranty, then a consumer is left very unhappy. With us, they know exactly where they bought the product and where to come back if they need additional service. We have a dedicated claims department that addresses any issues the customer may have. That would be me. There is someone to pick up the phone. In the end, we are in business of selling a service, an experience. Yes, you get a beautiful floor at the end, but the piece that really we focus on is customer service. It's about how people feel when they walk on their dream flooring every day. It's a lifestyle upgrade for them. It's a design choice, and we are here to help their dreams come true. So in my remaining time, I would like to share some personal habits and goals that have transformed me. I've heard on many occasions that how you show up to the gym is how you show up to everything in life. I don't show up at the gym, but I do work out from home and run outdoors, but the principle still remains the same nonetheless. The person that I am today is shaped by the habits that I've implemented over the last 6 years. I was not always full of energy and joy, believe it or not. The pain of staying how I was eventually became too great, and so I chose to accept the pain of discipline instead. There are a lot of parallels between running a business, living this life well, and running a marathon. I was not a runner until I was 39. Maybe some people are born to run. I was not. When a business acquaintance suggested that I sign up for a half marathon, I laughed and said, I do not run unless something is chasing me. So he said, well, you don't have to run. We're walking it. It's a beautiful community and just so fun and encouraging, and you get to be in Yosemite. And I got to thinking, why not try something new to celebrate the upcoming 40th birthday? So I've already been working out at that time daily for 3 years and have felt pretty strong in my fitness. So I tried to run 3 miles and I didn't die. So I decided, I could do this. So I signed up for a half marathon. That means you put your money where your mouth is. And I started to train. I got picked up by a friend who's a part of a local running group, and there I found out that to run well, I needed to have some proper equipment for the job. In this case, a properly fitted running shoe and running socks. What a difference the proper equipment makes. I was training in shoes that were too old, 2 sizes too small, and not a running shoe at all. Top that off with cotton socks, and you've got a blistering disaster happening. But you don't know what you don't know. So it helps to surround yourself with people that do know. So here's my business and life application on that. Surround yourself with people that are doing the thing, the people that are running the same direction, that can give you those nuggets of wisdom about the little things. It's those little things that make all the difference in your race of life. Although running is thought of as an individual sport, and certainly running a business can be lonely at times, it really matters that you surround yourself with a like-minded community. They will make all the difference along the way. The next point is running to win. So for me, it's not enough to complete a marathon. From the get-go, I came in with the attitude of, I'm going to win this thing. So in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 9:24 to 26, it says, do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may win. Everyone who competes in the games exercises self-control in all things. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. So you know what? I trained. I got faster. I got to the point that I ran that distance every weekend, and then it was just a matter of how fast can I run that distance. My first race, I came in 10th in my age group. That was a win for me. I've done a few races in the last 3 years, but I went back this year, just about a month ago, to Yosemite, and I came in 5th in my age group. Beat my time by a lot. Again, winning. This time I got an extra medal and got on a podium. 3 weeks later, I ran here in Fontana and came in 2nd in my age group, only 8 seconds behind my friend Candace over there, who came in 1st in our group. These races have qualified me to run Boston Marathon and New York Marathon, so new doors opening. So I ran for the prize, not aimlessly. Same in business and same in my life. I run to leave a lasting legacy. This business, the way we impact people, the way we impact our family, we do not run aimlessly. We are building this business, this life, with intention to leave a lasting legacy. That requires discipline, training. It requires hard miles that suck, and victories to celebrate. Ryan Hall is an American record holder for a half marathon, and he's also the only American to run a sub-2:05 marathon. He's fast. He has this phrase that I adopted: run the mile you're in. We can get so worried about the finish line or the grueling miles at the end or the wall. There's a wall that you hit around mile 19 or 20. Don't worry about mile 20. You're in mile 6 right now. How can you be present and run this race well? Same in life and in business. We can get so worried about the future that we forget to be present in today. I don't know where I'll be in 5 years or 10 years or when I'm 60. Today, though, today, I am to be present and to make it a great day, whatever it is that I do. So I do not worry about where my kids will be, retirement, etc. That's my husband's job. While we do plan for the future, as in we train, when it's go time, I'm running today. I'm running this stage of life, this stage of our business. So run the mile that you're in. And it is work. The more work you put in, the luckier you get. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. Have you ever looked at a person with their success and said something like, oh, it's easy for her because she's skinny, she's fit, she's talented, she is, insert whatever it is that you think of her. No, no, friends. Hard work is the only way to get there. The more you train, the better endurance you get. No one can run those miles for you. No one can do the early wake-ups and trainings for you. No one can persevere for you, and no one can make an impact like you. Running and racing has helped me learn to dump that mental garbage when the miles get hard. If you were to peek into my brain 3/4 of the way through a race, you may see something like, why am I running again? Why was I up at 4 a.m. again? Do I really want to win? Do I have to try this hard again? Who am I to even think that I can compete with these seasoned runners? When you're rethinking your life choices at mile 20, or dealing with a particularly hard situation with a customer in your business or in a family situation, make no mistake, it is work. It is work. There's no other way around it. To be successful in life, you have to put in the work. That is the consistent, day-to-day, week-to-week, season-to-season work. But keep your eyes on the prize, friends. The rewards of the hard work are coming. So what I want to say at the closing of this talk is invest in yourself and invest in people. The habits that you build in your personal life, like reading, fitness, work-life balance, early wake-ups, the food that you eat, whatever habits you're working on, they all create a person that you are everywhere. If you're balanced and healthy in your home, in your relationships, in your connection to God, in your connections to yourself, you will be that person at work and in your fitness and whatever else you decide to pursue in life. So invest in yourself and invest in people.
So we've got time for some questions, and if you'll just repeat the question when they're asked, okay?
Sure.
So.
Any
Well,
questions?
it's usually hard for someone to start, so, you know, you talked about, I've got all kinds of different things written down here. Regarding the millennials, and that they're the biggest buyers right now, can you just give some examples of what they do and how they shop?
Sure. Regarding the millennials, them being the biggest buying group right now, talk about how they shop or their habits. Well, as I mentioned that I myself am just on the cusp of being outside of millennial, by 1 year. But I do have a lot of the same habits, and we are about efficiency and time management and the most direct buying process. So a lot of the times it'll be a Google search for whatever it is that you're looking for. But lately, I would say probably in the last 3-4 years for sure, especially with the pandemic, I would say a lot of it is done on social media. So they go to groups on social media, they go to Pinterest, they go to Instagram, they put in keywords, whether that's a backyard remodel that you're doing or a pool remodel or flooring job, whatever it is, they follow influencers who tell them what to get and where to get it. So yeah, that's the culture.
Awesome. Who's ready? You're not going to let her get off this easy, are you? All right, well, let's get, yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. So, Lena, thank you. We've known each other a long time, and you were my customer, and then I became your customer with flooring. And 2 years ago, just pre-COVID, you came to my office and helped me with choosing flooring because I had no idea what I wanted, and that's an untapped source, isn't it? Can you say a little bit more about what you do for businesses, not just the whole?
Sure, yes. So a couple of years ago, right before pandemic, we helped Pal Bender with the flooring in her new office here in Corona. Yes, it's beautiful. And so she said, I have no idea what I need, please come help. And so we looked at the space, we looked at the colors that she might like, something neutral. She came into the showroom, we picked a few things. So it needed to be a commercially viable flooring for her because it is a commercial building. And so that was the help I was able to give to her. It's like we ask a lot of questions of the customer. What are their needs? What are their pain points? They're not shopping for flooring for funsies. Usually they've had an event happen. Their old flooring is, damaged, or they had a water damage, or they just have a new building that they need to refurbish. So those are the things that we do. We find out what their needs are and then suggest the best materials to use. So for Pal Bender's case, it was like a stone plastic composite flooring, really wide, really long. It just really created a nice space in her office. And it is completely waterproof. There's no wood in it, but it looks fantastic. And I think, for a commercial space, it really stood the test.
Not one scratch.
Not one scratch, she said.
Lots of people. There's on your advert.
Ray,
quick question. When you're talking about being market disruptor in your industry, you said that you lost some relationship because you start selling online. What was the reason? I was kind of curious.
So within the flooring industry, there are regions and distribution channels. So if I'm able to sell something less expensive into their area, and they have a distribution channel that stocks the material, invests in marketing and all that, they didn't like that somebody could go online and find it in California maybe for less money than they are selling in, let's say, Florida or New Jersey. Yeah.
We got time for one more?
I have a question. As an entrepreneur, how do you build your business to be like recession-proof for all the economic cycles that we go through?
So as an entrepreneur, how do we build our business to be recession-proof as it cycles? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think we have it all perfect, but I think one thing we have done is really run lean. We've always been very conservative. We don't spend a ton, even on such things as advertising or luxury items. I think our CPA will always say that we run a pretty tight ship. So we did put away a lot of money, but we ended up using a lot of that money to purchase a building recently. So now as the market slows down, now we have to find new ways of running even more lean and create new opportunities, new markets. And I think that was part of my thought of the beginning of the talk is like, yes, we got this far, but what got us this far is not necessarily what's going to take us over the next hump. And so, again, the work never stops. Again, we're finding ourselves that we need to innovate, we need to find new ways, and keep moving with the market.
So Paul Bender is going to go ahead and make a presentation.
Yes. Lena, thank you so much for such an inspirational speech, and to your parents, thank you for taking that risk and coming to this country. We are all so much richer for it. Our theme this year, and your talk goes right along with it, is creating jobs, building a stronger community. So not only have you created jobs, but you in your personal life, the way that you support, and I've watched you do that, model behavior for your employees, but you help them develop to their full greatness, has been a joy. And so thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you so much.
So let's give a round of applause again to Yelena. And we want to invite you back for next month. If you've got any questions, you can see Anthony. If you know somebody, maybe it's you, that is an entrepreneur that would like to share your story a little bit and do what Lena did today, we would be glad to talk to you on that. Again, I want to thank Amanda with the City of Corona for partnering with us. Because of that partnership, we are able to do this on a monthly basis and invite you down and come and see this. And those people that are on Facebook, if any of you want to come locally and be part of this, that's great. If not, it's on Facebook, and then you can also view this later on. So on behalf of the Corona Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for being here today. Remember, I want you to go out and visit with some of the people that you met here right now. Network, build business relationships, and on that, we're adjourned. Thank you.